Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is GINA, and I'm your host tonight. Thank you for joining us from all over the country. I heard from my friends that there's many of you tuning in right now. So I have some friends who helped me out with the feed today. We were very encouraged to know that yesterday's session has been helpful for you to learn more about the music copyright from the lawyer herself. If you know anyone who might benefit from it, feel free to share the video links. The English version are on Facebook and the Mandarin version are on YouTube. My friends will be putting up the links on the comment thread right now so that you can just click, share, make it easy for everyone, right? So for the English version, we will also be uploading to YouTube next week. So if you are not a Facebook user or your friends are not a Facebook user, feel free to just check it out or just stay tuned for updates on that. Having said that, it's the same setting tonight. If you are tuning into Facebook and you are listening to my voice, okay, that means you're on the English platform. And if you are a Mandarin speaking, you need to tune into a Chinese version of it. Feel free to go to our YouTube channel right now. My friends will be putting up the link on the comment thread, so they just click and go, making it very, very simple for you. Throughout the session, if you have any questions, just type it into your comment section and we will ask our panelists about it tonight. Okay, so one of the key points that was mentioned yesterday was, of course, CCLI. Half the comment feed was CCLI, which stands for Christian Copyright Licensing International. So I believe many of us, especially the smaller churches, have only heard of CCLI during this partial lockdown where suddenly you have to put things online and then, have all this copyright thing and stuff like that. So a lot of people have been just going to CCLI website, asking 101 questions, and then they have this notice on their website saying, wow, so many inquiries. So when I was putting together this online series of talks to just address some issues on copyright, the first person I thought of, or the first corporate entity I thought of, like, hey, we must get CCLI on board because you know what? Yeah, there's so many of us that it helps to just have a session to just address time efficiency, save time, and you get it right from the horse mouth, instead of going through some layers and layers and layers of people like, I heard CCLI, I heard, come on lah. Today we have no I heard, we just hear straight from CCLI, okay? So today, together with us is CCLI's Asia Pacific Service Center Manager, Bawani Bucks. Welcome and thank you for joining us, B. How are you today?
Thank you so much, Gina. I am well, and it's a pleasure to join you today. I listened to yesterday's talk, and I was pleasantly surprised at how amazing the session went. So I'm hopeful today will also go well.
Yes, it will be. So before we start, let me just say a quick prayer. Father Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to learn about music and copyright and licensing. Lord, we pray that you will teach us how to just use music to glorify your name and to use it ethically and according to the law, that we'll be able to set a good example to the world. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Okay, it's all yours. Take it away.
Thank you. Thanks, Gina. Yes, I will start with the beginning. CCLI started nearly 40 years ago. And what happened was there was a pastor in Oregon, Portland, Oregon, that heard about a 3.1 million copyright that was against the Archdiocese of Chicago. And so what happened was he got his music minister, Howard, to research and find out if their church was covered. And so this company was actually born out of a church, trying to do the right thing, trying to protect itself from copyrights and from leaving itself open to lawsuits, basically. And fast forward to now, we've been in existence for a while, and my team back in Australia, we have branches all over the world. So I'm the manager of Asia Pacific, which covers Malaysia, Singapore, all of that stuff. So hang on, I just remembered I meant to speak a little slowly for our translator, Michelle. I'll start with what we do. So I've mentioned where we began, and right now we cover licensing for the entire world. Now, Shamala Sekaran from yesterday, she mentioned that every country has a copyright law. So what that law does is it protects everything that you create. So what we do is we speak to the creators, the owners of the rights holders, and we ask them, hey, we give them exchange contracts, and we say, can we have those rights so that we can license them to churches and Christian schools, so that and Christian organizations, depending on where we're operating, and so that you can use those rights, you can use the music and the words and the sheet music legally. So that's basically what we do in a nutshell. We protect the law. We don't enforce it, or we're not the police, but we protect, we cover the churches, we protect the churches, and we also protect our artists and our musicians, because eventually that they benefit from what we do. So yeah, this is a little snapshot. We have the largest repertoire of worship music, songs and hymns. Contemporary is our strong point. We also, because we are born out of a church, say my team, we're all in worship ministry, except me, I do New Christians, but we're all serving in our local church. We have a worship pastor, we have a worship leader, we have someone that writes songs as well. Everyone loves music, they love the church. So we're all about serving the church. So we also provide other services that help the church. I'll touch on that a bit later. So what we offer and why. So I'll start with that. Now the first license that we have is called a CCL, which is a basic standard church copyright license. What it allows you to do is you can project, or you can print out the words to most of the hymns and the songs that you know, Bethel, Christomlin, Hillsong, Toby Mac, Jesus Freak, all of those were about as old as I am. Stuff like that. You can also, there's this license also allows you to record DVDs of your service and send it to people who are sick. And you can also, create custom musical arrangements. So let's just say there's, I don't know, What a Beautiful Name, and there's no arrangement. Let's just say even translations, you can do that as well. As part of this license. Sorry. So this is the basic comprehensive license we offer. Most of the other licenses you can't get without this base, because this is like a building foundation block, right? So the next license we offer is called a music reproduction license. Now, let's just say you purchase a music book. That music book only allows for one copy of that sheet music. So you can't make photocopies of that music book, because if you look at the licensing of that book, it's only meant to be used as a one-off. So if you want to take copies of that sheet music, you will need this license. So this license gives you authority to scan, to photocopy from many songbooks and publications, and some online platforms as well. We have an online songbook, if you want to call it, called Song Select, which I will touch on later as well. That's one of the products we offer. So this also allows you to copy and download and send to your music team from your resource, whatever resource you use, either the songbook or Song Select. The next license we offer is probably the one you're all interested in. It's called the Church Streaming License. So this permits you to legally live stream your worship services. So you can stream your main service, and you can also stream your children's services. So this is a great versatile license, and you can stream it across multiple platforms. So YouTube, your Facebook, your Vimeo, your church website, you can pop it there as well. I guess
interesting.
I'm sure I'll have more questions about the streaming license later on, so we'll come back to that. So we also offer a resource called Song Select. Now, if you purchase a music book, that's all the songs that you get. Whereas Song Select, we update it constantly. Like I think right now Hillsong are releasing a new album. We're now putting all of that into our database. So you get access to, depending on the level that you choose, you have access to lyrics, chord sheets, lead sheets, and the music is transposable. So click of a button, you can change keys. It also includes audio samples. So it's a great resource, but again, this is just a resource. It's not a license. This is what it would look like. We also have something called the CCLI Top 100. So they're the top 100 songs that churches around the world or your region, what they're singing at the moment. So it's just great to kind of go through. You can look at songs, you can add them to your whatever software, planning software that you're using as well.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool app, service. So what do we do with your license fees that you pay us? This is what we do. So unfortunately, I can't keep it. Twice a year, we distribute it to our rights owners. So this is where your reporting comes in, and I will talk about reporting as well. Based on what songs you sing every Sunday, we do a sort of an audit of what songs have been you've been singing, and based on the weighting of your church and the size of your congregation, that kind of adds up and sort of ranks the songs. So the top 100 that you saw, it changes every 6 months. So the reporting. Now, if you have a CCL license, you're meant to tell us every week what songs you've been singing. So that is how we distribute the royalty to the correct song owner. That makes sense. Why should you report? Well, it's sort of like voting. If you don't vote for the song that you're singing, it goes to the wrong person. So you're doing the person that's actually, all their life invested, had paid for music lessons, waited on God, spent all this time creating and resource creating worship music for you. They've lost some revenue if you don't report. So it's very important to report what you've been singing at church. And the accuracy, it just makes it as accurate as possible. And we still do, so when you don't report, we'll still do distribute the money, but the weighting is a bit off. Like it's not as accurate as it could be.
That's interesting.
It's quite important to report. So I'll open up. That was my presentation. I made it as simple as possible because Shamala covered all the legalese, and it was quite comprehensive. If you have any questions, I would love to field them.
Yes. So before we take the questions, just a tip. Try not to move so much because the mic picks up the sound, so they hear a little bit of a sound. But other than that, we are good. So let me zoom into the first questions we have. The first question is, do licensing rates factor local currencies? Because for example, if churches in Singapore have brought it into this way, into CCLI much earlier than Malaysia, it's probably because we are actually flinching at the conversion rate.
Singapore has a different pricing to you guys. They have it in Sing dollars, and they take into account their WHT, but you guys have a US dollar price, and it's not as dear as the Singapore rate.
So that's to our benefit, right?
Yes, it is, definitely. Our pricing is based on regions. So Australia has a different pricing band. New Zealand has a different pricing band. a few Asian countries have a different pricing band. Malaysia has a different pricing band. So we did factor in, when I set pricing, we talk about GDP, we talk about, things like that before we set the pricing, because you should.
Okay.
It's not as expensive as you probably think it is.
Yeah, better than getting sued, and that would be more expensive.
That's right.
So
And the pricing, the licensing is based on your congregation size. So if you have a larger church, it's a bit dearer. Remember the weighting that I said about the reporting? So if you have a larger church, when you report on a song, the weighting is a bit higher than when a smaller church reports on a song, because it's based on the congregation size.
That's interesting. Okay, I'm going to read a few more questions. They're coming in like bullets,
Do it.
So, okay, for example, I'm just going to go according to the order. If I'm a song producer, how do I list my songs with CCLI?
Perfect. Look, we are not someone that publishes songs. So you need to publish a song and get it out to churches. So when we get a request from 3 or 4 churches saying, hey, we want this artist, this song in your collection, then we will send you the contract and sign you up. So it's sort of like not a push, like it's a pull thing. It's a responsive sort of. If a song is not requested by a church because they're not singing it and they don't want, they can't report on it, then we won't have it in our catalog. So if they tell us we're using this song, can you please make sure that you have this song in your catalog? Then we do it.
So if there's a demand, you will get it done. So to speak,
Yes.
I mean, if it's only one church singing it, then if there's 1,000 churches trying to sing it, then yay!
Sure, look, network with other pastors, other worship leaders, get your friends in other churches to sing your songs. Like, it's like anything. If there's a demand, we will definitely have you there. Yeah.
Cool.
Because it's pointless having.
So our next question is, our churches have many branches. Do we need to buy for each church, or can we just buy under one umbrella license?
There's a multi-site license that you can get. You'll need to contact us directly and we'll work that out.
Okay. That's very helpful, because we have quite a lot of churches in Malaysia. There's a whole network of people.
Look, we also do groups, and we do a great deal for groups. So if there's a group out there, just contact us and we'll work out a deal.
Okay, the questions are quite jumbled up, so I hope you don't mind if the questions just jumble up a little bit. So there's a question about, for streaming of instrumental music during song reporting, is it attributable to the original song?
Streaming? Wait, sorry.
Okay, let me repeat that. For streaming of instrumental music during song reporting, is it attributable to the original song?
So they want to stream an instrumental of a worship song. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yes. So how does it work?
You know what? I'm not sure.
Okay, let's try the next one.
I can get back to you. I'll get back to you on that.
I will start that message and send it to you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next one. Do all these licenses that you have shared just now, cover such things like translations or different versions or different variations of the song?
Yes, it does. Yes.
Okay, that's cool. So even if they do like a cover.
Yeah, okay. Look, this is all for covers. Like, you have a organization in Malaysia that does the actual recording. So this doesn't cover playing a CD. This is when you have your worship team perform, for lack of a better word.
Okay, cool. The next one, the church that I'm in has a license. However, we are not familiar with the reporting process. Is there any resource online that show us an example of the reporting process? Yes, there's a few links on our website. You could email us and we'll point you to those links if you like, or you can call us and we'll be happy to show you how to report. There's an online reporting system that's sort of easy. I won't say very easy, sort of easy. Start off easy. Okay, so the next question is quite interesting because I do translation of songs as well from English to BM to Malay. All right, so we are multiracial country, right? So we have all sorts of language. So one of the most popular questions that is always asking, which is like so many repeated here, is for Chinese songs or Malay songs, do you cover it under CCLI as well?
If we do, but you'll have to let us know. Yeah, as I said, if there's a demand, we'll have it. We'll sign them up.
Okay, but
we have a Korean database. We have currently, you know what? I'm not very sure. I'm pretty sure we do cover. I mean, we do cover churches in China. We do cover all the Asian regions, but I'm guessing they're mostly English-speaking churches. But with repertoire, it depends on, again, supply and demand. We will supply if there's a demand. And we will sign up a Chinese, like a worship artist, if there is a demand.
So, Malaysia churches, let's create a demand.
I think we've already signed. Like we have the major ones like One Accord and Kelvin Lim and people like that. But I'm not sure about the Chinese one.
The Chinese one.
Yeah.
And well, at least now that they know that if they keep asking for the song, you guys will do something about it.
We will, for sure.
So that is a good solution enough for me, at least. I will just get everyone to bug you about my song. So another one. Does CCLI license include the use of Song Select platform, or is it a separate charge? So
as I mentioned, the licenses are separate, and Song Select is a resource that's separate. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's totally separate. Okay. Oh, this one is quite interesting. Worship songwriters, do they need to sign up with CCLI even if they have their songs already sung in church? I think a lot of musicians are tuning in tonight because I'm part of the Malaysian worship collective, right? So we actually gathered a lot of Malaysian worship songs that are sometimes unheard of even by our own churches. But all these musicians are asking, we have a song, it's produced, how do we get it licensed or, monetizing for them as well?
Yeah. You have a local agency that you can register it with, right?
Yep.
I forgot the name. Hang on.
I think it was mentioned yesterday.
Yes. So you can register your intellectual property with them. But with us, you only need to register when churches ask us for it. That's the only difference.
Okay, then this next question is quite interesting. If my church wants to post audio recordings of songs under CCLI licensing, they already have the license and they have Song Select on YouTube as part of the service, what kind of license do they need?
You will need the streaming license. The church streaming license, yes. So online is a different platform.
If they put lyrics, what if they put lyrics on it?
The lyrics is covered. We say that you need to film. So the streaming license is pretty much you take your church online. So it has to be a pastor, your church, and the lyrics at the background. So if the lyrics are in the background, say in a screen behind the pastor or the worship leader, then you can stream that video. But you can't put lyrics on top of that video, if that makes sense. I'm not sure why that clause is there, but that's what the license says.
Okay, so they can't put lyrics on it. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry, I'm just going through really fast because some of these are repeated questions. There's one who's asking, may I know what's the pricing like? There are actually also a question that's asking, what do you mean by how big your congregation? Is it based on a weekly congregation or average per year, or how do you want us to measure?
Weekly, let's just say you have 50 people in the morning service. 50 is your congregation size. Let's just, sorry, I'll rephrase it. Let's just say 1 week you have 50, 1 week you have 40, another week you have 60. Average it's 50 a week.
Okay. So that's quite, they just average in a month lah.
Yeah.
So can.
We say a year, but yeah.
Easier to do a month nowadays. People keep changing churches all the time.
That's right.
So for churches with more than one language services, do we purchase by size of language division or by the church size as a whole?
As a whole. So if you have, let's say, a Tamil service at 9, a Malay service at 10 or 11, total congregation sizes.
Okay, cool. Okay, another one. Would my church need a CSL for broadcasting via Zoom? You know, a lot of churches,
Yes.
some of them don't go online, right? So they just do Zoom.
Yes.
Does it count?
Yes, you do. So the moment it leaves your four walls of your church, you'll need a license because it's considered public, even if it is a private, like a Zoom meeting. Yeah.
Okay. So the other one, how do I ensure that YouTube doesn't take down my service or my video if I have a streaming license? Because they wouldn't know if I have it or not.
You contact them and give them the CCLI streaming license number, and they will allow it. They will on whatever they do, your account. Because what happens is there's just it's like a algorithm that takes down videos. We can't put something there that says don't look at my videos. So once it knows that it's a church and it's licensed, then they'll take that off, that restriction.
So do they do that before they upload the video, or is there a process that you would suggest?
I would suggest doing a test video on the Wednesday, and then once it's taken down, just send them your license number and say, hey, we're licensed by CCLI. This is a streaming license number, and then they'll take it off. But it takes a couple of days.
Yeah.
That's we've been working with Facebook and with YouTube to try and make the process a bit better, or put in the license number so that they don't even take it down. But they're big, and like Christian church streaming is so little, and it's a struggle.
Yeah, cool. Because I know some of the churches have been trying to just type in their licensing details on the description, and it kind of helps them to just
That's great. That's
really so good. You can try that, guys. You try that.
Yeah, try it.
Just put it on before they pull you down. On the description, hey, there's this CCLI license something. So maybe they stop pulling you down.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Okay. The other one. How do we get access to Malaysian pricing? Because I think the website doesn't have Malaysian pricing.
It geolocates to your. What you do is create an account, a profile with your name, and then you link your church to it. If it's if it might be already in our system, so you can just search for your church name and see if you can link yourself to the church. Or if it's a brand new church, you enter the church details and create a new church, and then you can go into the online store and you can buy it online. It's quite easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So make sure you try it out. I believe my friends are typing in the link for you guys to just click and try it out. Okay, let's go to the next question. I feel like I'm just having this, Q&A really fast with you. Okay, does our church still need to purchase streaming license when our church already purchased a copyright license and a worship software for our worship, and we are currently using Facebook Watch Party?
Yes, you do. As I said, the moment your worship leaves the four walls of your church, you need a streaming license. And the streaming license is based on your original church congregation. So if you have 50 people, but your Facebook, for some reason, you're streaming to 300 people, you don't need to get a license for 300 people. You just get your a license for the people that actually come into your church. That's the number of that's your attendance.
Okay, that's interesting. So is there a difference between live streaming and video posting? I think they're getting a bit confused. I just post a video, or
it's similar because even when you do the Zoom meeting and then you post the video to YouTube, it's still considered a stream. So it doesn't have to be live. For example, you can record your worship you can live record your worship on the Friday, then add it to your pastor's sermon on the Sunday, and you can stream it, or you can put it on your website. It doesn't have to be streamed, if that makes sense.
So as long as it's online and it's available to people, it's done deal.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a electronic transmission, sort of. Yeah.
Keyword, guys, electronic transmission. As long as it touches
for as long as you have the streaming license, you can have it on your website or on your Facebook or whatever. So.
Cool. Okay, that's similar questions. Skip. Okay, I think some of these questions we have answered so far.
Okay, that's good.
Is there anything else that you want to explain or something?
I'd like to add that, let's see, don't forget the children, don't forget kids services. I find a lot of churches have the main services streamed and they don't have anything for their children. Don't forget the kids, because they need spiritual nourishment. Train up a child, as they say. So while the parents are watching church, make sure there's an avenue for the church, for the kids to not, be bored or, so don't forget the kids.
Okay. The next question, could you explain more about license fee? I think they just want to really understand what it's about.
Sure. So licensing, it's basically, the law says that if someone produces something, it is not yours. So you have to pay to use it. That's basically what licensing is. Let's just say you own a car, or you paid for a car and you created a car or whatever. It's your property. You wouldn't have someone else coming and taking it. So exactly like that, a song or a resource or a movie or poetry or anything that you create is actually intellectual property. It belongs to someone. So if someone is using that, that person needs to be remunerated. That is basically what copyright is. What licensing is, what we do really. So, yeah, I hope that.
So there are 2 or 3 requests on. Can you repeat again on the different type of license types of license?
Types of license.
I think it was in your presentation, but maybe they just want a refresh.
That's fine. Let me go back to my slide. The church copyright license, which is the main license, the basic license so this is the license that, remember the beginning, the story that I started off with when I said that there was a copyright, a lawsuit, a $3.1 million lawsuit in 1980. It was in the 80s, early 80s. So what happened was there was a publisher that walked into a church, and he picked up one of those booklets that you print, and he looked at the print booklet, and there was some lyrics of a hymn that was from his publishing company. And he went, well, I didn't give permission to this church to print copies of this the hymn. So that was how this the lawsuit came about, because someone just thought, you know what, I can print out words to a song. That's fine. So this license, the CCL license, which is the basic church copyright license, permits you to print out the words to most of the hymns and worship songs that you'll probably be using.
Okay.
That's the base license. Okay. So this is just lyrics, words. Then the next one is the music reproduction license, which is the sheet music. So if you buy a sheet music, a book, let's say a hymnal, you don't have to buy hymnals for your entire congregation. If you have this license, you can buy one hymnal, and if it's covered by us, you can take photocopies of it or scan it and send it. So it's a quite, I'd say, it gives you the permission to copy, email, PDF, scan, all of that stuff. That's the second license. We also sell in Malaysia the church streaming license, which is what I talked to you about, streaming. church services or online. So those are the 3 licenses we offer in Malaysia.
Okay. So they have actually gone to check out the prices. So they were saying, wow, but my church size is, for example, there's only 300 people in my church. And if I want to do, let's say, streaming and photocopy, and I want to do song select, there's like almost 500 USD. Can we have a Malaysian price? Because 500 USD for a size of 300 is quite a lot. And considering that the churches in Malaysia, majority of ours is definitely more than 300. So I can understand the concern of this question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I can't do much. The US dollar is killing us as well at the moment. The Aussie dollar is not doing great. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have to ask that. If I don't ask that, they'll kill me, right?
Look, no, that's fine. No, that's fine. Look, if you can't afford the music reproduction license, then you can obviously buy your music books. You don't need to use the MRL. The basic license that most churches will need is right now is the CCL and the streaming license. Those are the 2 important ones. So yeah, the MRL is optional. You can buy your own hymnals if that's cheaper.
Okay, that's good enough. At least we know what is mandatory.
Yeah, this is option. Like, these are options to buying hymnals, buying, whatever. So.
Cool. Okay, we have another one that says, well, I think we've answered that. But just to be clear, J-Lock answers, if we only send the service video through a Google Drive, that means it doesn't go online. I mean, it goes online, but it doesn't go on a platform where people see, but it's in a Google sharing folder. Yeah. Do we still need CCLI?
Well, you need the first license because that gets you to record it and store it. So storing is also, if you store it somewhere, it's sort of like you need a copyright for that.
Okay, so even if you store it at Google Drive or some shared drive, you need a copyright for it.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, this next question is more interesting. What is the right format to list the music credits? Do you have a format that you can put it on?
Yeah. Yeah, it's usually there is a format. I can send it to you. It's usually the name of the artist, the publishing company, and there's a CCLI number that you can put your church CCLI number. There is a standard format. Yeah, I can totally send that to you.
Okay, so you send it to us and we just post it down there. So everyone remember to stay tuned to the comment thread or check back in 2-3 days. Okay, so that one we could answer. Sorry, I'm just reading really, really fast. Okay, this question. We produce our own recording of the songs or record vocals over music backing tracks that we bought. So basically they bought tracks and then they sing over it. And then we produce video lyrics with that backup music so that our congregation can use it for home service. Is that covered under streaming license?
Okay, pre-recorded music is not covered by us at the moment. Pre-recorded music is streaming it rather, sorry. That is one of your local organizations have licensing for that. And it's either, I think it's public PPM, I think, PPM, Public Performance Malaysia.
Yes, PPM, correct.
One of them does the record, or no, it could be the recording performance. No.
I think it's the MACP.
It's the
MACP.
One of them do it. Yeah, we don't at the moment.
So there's a MACP and then there's a PPM, which is Public Performance of Malaysia. I think they cover that.
Correct. Yeah.
So, okay. Are kids services, just now we mentioned about kids, or Sunday school considered educational and therefore fair use?
Okay, that's interesting. Well, not
That'd be
sure.
quite
You might
interesting.
have to. Yeah. Look, we say that our licenses cover your standard services, which include the kids' services. So if it's exempt or not, I'm not sure, but it covers the kids as well. So if you're only streaming the children's services, you might need to check with someone else. I'm not very sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's a hairy one.
So they are actually asking if they are able to get a set of your slides. Wow. Slides in demand.
Oh, wow. I can send a copy. Yeah, sure. Wow. Yeah. Okay. I can email that to you. Sure.
Can. So that is the format that you need to send to us, and also the slides, which if I may get your permission live to upload it somewhere so that they can actually download it. Asking for copyright here, permission. Putting what I learned to good use.
You know what? I need to check. I need to check if I can do that.
Yeah, because after all, it's CCLI's company stuff, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
So,
that's right.
So no promises, guys. But if she gets the green light, then you guys will have her slides.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, another one. Okay, they just want to clarify and explain a little bit more. Just now you mentioned that license does not cover overlaying lyrics on video. Correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
There is a slight exception. During the COVID period, a few publishers like Hillsong, Elevation Music, Elevation Worship, they've allowed for that to happen just till it's only because of this period. I'm not sure how long it'll go for. Some people did it for 2 months. Some people did it's unclear on how long it's going to go for. But when you do use pre-recordings, YouTube does mute you. So just a disclaimer there. They do take it down.
Ouch. Okay. For some worship ministries that provide chord sheets freely for use, how does that apply with CCLI licenses? So, for example, they've given Worship Together or Better Music, where they actually give the chord sheets, for free.
Yeah.
So, how does that work?
Look, we have agreements with the publishers where they give us the rights, but they can also give rights to other people. That's their prerogative. So if you want to just use the free chords of everyone else that's giving away free stuff, you can do that. But if you want more comprehensive coverage of, the content that we have, it's quite a lot. So if you want just blanket coverage and just don't want to fiddle around doing lots of research, figuring out which resource is free, then you'd probably be best with a license.
Okay. That's very, very straightforward. Another one from Pastor Gilbert. Does the streaming license for the church cover small groups or cell groups who are on virtual platforms? So let's say if they buy a license for church use, and then on the weekdays they have fellowships or something like that, and all this is done on Zoom or Hangout, how does that apply?
This is only for church meetings. So for private Connect group meetings, you don't need licensing. So if I am having a Zoom meeting for my Connect group or small group, I'm calling from my location, like my login. So it's not a church meeting. It's not a church gathering. It's a private sort of meeting, if that makes sense. And it's not the normal Sunday service.
Yep. Okay. So then they wouldn't need the licensing for it.
Have you tried using worship in Zoom? It's terrible.
See, don't use it on Zoom. It's terrible. It's actually quite true. The quality
delays
drops.
are real. Oh my goodness, it's crazy. Yeah.
Okay. There's another one. Must be from a wedding part. What about weddings? Weddings are deemed fair use if it's being streamed?
Yes.
I think this is a very, very good question because we have weddings being streamed, we have funerals being streamed, and music are being played. So do we need a streaming license for this?
That's a really good one that I don't have an answer for. Weddings are considered fair use in Australia as well. But the streaming of weddings depends. It won't be streamed by the church on the church website, would it? So then it's not, we don't cover it. So typically when you stream a wedding, either the groom's cousin or whatever, someone streams it from their personal account on the groom's Facebook, or it's not on the church platform, so we don't cover it. That's right. I do know that. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. I've actually reached the end of the list. I feel like we were on a marathon, but there's so much to learn because it's also specific, right? Different case
totally.
Different case for different people.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So,
but if you guys have any other questions, or if you want anything explained, you can always contact our team. Email, you can call them. Email is probably better. We'll get back to you as well. So feel free, just even if it's about something else, we'll find out for you. If it's copyright related, we'll find out.
Cool. Okay, then we have people the moment I say no questions, and then they just start sending in questions. So, choral works. Okay, choral works. Do you guys cover choral works, or is it just contemporary songs and hymns?
We don't do a whole heap because it depends on what's been given to us and what's been requested. So we don't. Yeah. If you look for. Yeah, we don't have the full SATB stuff yet for most things.
Okay.
We're working on it.
Cool.
We're working on it.
Yeah, you guys have done really well because initially when we started, there was like no streaming or license or something, but it's so quick that it's being put together, which is really, really good.
Yes, our team are amazing. We truly have like the most amazing dedicated team, and they're all serving in church. Like they're just a really good team globally.
Okay. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I can know. I send in a request for you guys, and you guys respond in 48 hours. So that's like cool, man.
Good to know.
Yeah, really, really cool. Because I was like, I'm not sure if they're gonna see all my messages from heaps of things. So I think you guys are doing pretty well.
Thank you. So, we have a Malaysian on team. So we have a Malaysian on our team. So he said, you need to take care of this. So I said, okay then.
Good to know that we're taken care of, because most of us, I think when we do call, we just get channeled to a Singapore Singapore person sometimes. Yeah.
Oh really?
So yes. Somehow we always related that there's no office or rep in Malaysia, but Singapore. Okay. Is there?
No,
is there an office
in Malaysia? We only have an office in Australia, but we take care of calls from everywhere.
Cool.
And emails and But I have a Malaysian on my team in Australia.
Nice. Okay, here comes the question again. Pre-recorded music is covered under which license in Singapore? Oh, I forgot to tell you, we do have some Singapore audience tonight, actually. Yeah. So let me repeat that. Pre-recorded music, under which license is it covered in Singapore?
I feel like you might have to contact Compass, one of the local ones that have it. I forgot the name. Yeah. Sorry about that, but we don't cover it.
Okay.
So the pre-recorded music, you'll have to check with the local organizations. We don't, right now, we don't do pre-recorded music. We are working on it.
Okay, that's very clear. Not working on no pre-recorded music, but they are working on it. Okay, yes. The next question. My church would like to create a songbook for internal circulation, not for sale. Okay, so can I confirm that we would need to purchase two things, Song Select and CCL? Betul? Correct?
You'll need CCL, song select, and MRL if you're copying music. Does it have music or just lyrics?
So it's create a songbook. It's not very clear. Why don't we answer what if it's just lyrics and one is song sheet?
Okay. So if it's just lyrics, CCL and song select will cover it. If you're going to add music, then you'll need the MRL on top of that.
Okay, that's very, very clear. So next question is, if we have Compass, do we still need to get CCLI?
Yes, depending on what I've just said. If you're using worship music, Compass doesn't cover, I'm not sure what they cover actually, but if you want to use like Hillsong music and Bethel, which I don't think they have the rights to, but I could be wrong. You should check who they cover, what publishers they cover, and then come back to us.
Okay, so we kind of need to check whether they cover what you guys cover or not.
And what they cover, like licensing is quite murky. So like, what license do you have from Compass? Like, is it for public performance license where you can go and have a Christmas concert in the park? That's a different license, by the way. Or is it for your church? Is it for, depends on what license that you have. We also have other licenses like public performances in Australia. We also have video licenses. So if you want to play snippets of a movie, you can do that in Australia. So in an Australian church, you can put a clip of a movie. We don't have that in Malaysia yet. But what I'm saying is there's all these different elements of licensing that we're allowed in certain countries. In certain countries, we're not. So it's quite a lot of layers to licensing.
Okay, cool. I think that will be the last question. I saw some other questions coming, but it's a bit repetitive. So you have anything else you would like to share?
Well, thank you for serving your church. Remember that you guys are doing a great job, especially in this crazy time that we're in. And take care of your people. Thank you for just trying to do the right thing as well. And I wanted to also just thank you, GINA, and the team, Michelle, for the translations and the team working with the technical team as well. Thank you for having me. I hope this has helped you, and I hope that God breathes on your church. And remember, nothing can stop the church, not a virus. So keep going, keep serving your people, everyone.
Cool. We should just keep going, guys. So I hope that's the last question that we took just now. There'll be many more questions, I'm sure. So if just in case your question has been answered earlier, you might want to scroll up to see whether you have asked similar question. If you missed the answer, when the broadcast finished, you can replay and then listen to it all over again. And if you really have any other questions, just post it in the comment, and then I will try to send it over to Bawani to just get them answered. But you can also head over to the FAQ section on their website. They have quite a few questions that's being answered there, quite brilliantly clear. So check that out before you ask a question that might have already been answered there, so that you don't have to wait on it. You just get immediate answers. So so just a little bit of announcement before I end tonight. Tonight's talk is brought to you by LIVEWIRE Media and Malaysian Worship Collective. So the Malaysian Worship Collective is actually a group of worship ministry folks that come together to introduce Malaysian worship songs. So if you're interested to, just introduce more Malaysian worship songs that has Sape playing, Erhu playing, songs that's written by Malaysians, composed by Malaysians, feel free to get in touch with us, and we will just get you some songs. And maybe if the songs keep getting played, we can get CCLI to just, cover them, And LIVEWIRE Media is actually a network of media ministry people with, media rep, or rather media friends in all our churches in Malaysia. So this is one of the things that we decided to organize to just meet a need that we found that's been happening throughout the whole partial lockdown that we have in Malaysia. So if you've been blessed tonight by our talk, feel free to support our ministry just, with a token of contribution, or give us a lot of likes and shares. That works well as well. The banking details are currently shown on your screen. Okay. And if you enjoyed tonight's session, feel free, like you say, just take and share the links, bless someone else and stuff like that. Tonight's broadcast is quite interestingly remotely broadcast from Penang, PJ, KL, Miri. The team is from like 4 or 5 places in Malaysia. So that's how amazing it's been. Okay, for tomorrow, we will be having a special session with the Malaysia Blessing team. I'm sure a lot of you have seen that video, heard the song being sung in, so many languages, Malay, Chinese, Tamil, English, So for something that is, for a popular song like that, and to put it online and to make it accessible worldwide, and have no problem even when they embed the video on certain church online streams, no pull down and so whatever. And I thought, wow, how amazing. What did the team do? So of course, I have to ask the team to come on board tomorrow to share with you a little bit on what are the practical steps that they have taken. So if yesterday you have learned about music copyright, today you have learned what CCLI covers, tomorrow you're going to learn how do you put it on YouTube with all the description and stuff, and then how they are still online, and then we make sure our videos are not pulled down from being online. So same time, same place tomorrow, 9 p.m. So see you then. Good night and God bless.